Welcome back, guys, to Whiskey Sports. This is episode 8. I'm here with my main man, Rhett. How you doing?
It's been a while.
It's
been a couple weeks.
2 weeks. I had COVID last week.
Yeah, I mean, it was the holidays, and then you had COVID, and then I had COVID, and shoot, it's all going around right now. So hopefully everybody's staying safe out there, staying healthy, and
Yeah, I couldn't talk
people around mid-Nashville area staying warm. Holy crap.
Yeah, we got about 7-8 inches right now, and it just stopped snowing, but it's a winter wonderland over here, man. It's the most snow I've ever seen. And
Yeah,
in a week too.
I was reading about it and looking on videos, and I was like, geez, ever since I lived there hasn't been 2 snows like that, because there's been 2 snows already like that.
Yep. Murfreesboro or Christiana, where my dad lives, got 9 inches on Sunday.
Wow. Yeah, I know my parents got quite a bit of snow too out there in Auburntown. So it's crazy. I mean, it's fine here. I haven't seen a snowflake. So, and I'm okay with that. You know, I don't like driving out there anyways, but yeah, we've been in the house anyways, quarantining. I mean,
is Atlanta
going around right now? Huh?
Y'all get snow?
No, or they get snow. Yeah, but barely.
Barely.
It's even less than, the mid-Nashville area, Middle Tennessee, which doesn't ever get snow anyways. So
yeah,
I'm surprised that y'all have gotten so much, 2 big snows already.
I know.
But man, it's been a long couple of weeks. There's been a lot of sports, a lot of things happening out there in the world, but
and shitty bowl,
a lot of bowls, a lot of bad bowls, a lot of good bowls. I mean,
shitty.
I'm never going to complain about more football though.
No, man, y'all lost a heartbreaker.
It's a Music City Bowl. I was mad for 5 minutes and then I was okay. I will never be super upset about losing a bowl game. Losing one you should have won because of, Purdue had some players out, yes, but it's the Music City Bowl. The people who say bowl games are huge momentums in the next year, I will tell them that is the most complete false thing ever. Tennessee usually blasts Big Ten teams in the bowl games, and the next year we come out and we're still mediocre or bad. So it was a heartbreaker, but it was a good game to watch. It was very entertaining. Heck, it was the most viewed New Year's Six bowl out out of all the bowl games. So
my question to you is, was he in?
He was in, yeah. I mean, I can understand both sides. I'm not one of those that's just like so adamant. He was for sure in. His momentum never stopped carrying him forward, so his momentum really never stopped. So I don't know why it was not ruled a touchdown, but he called the momentum stop. So I'm not arguing with the call. If he called it stop, they can't go review it. I agree with that, but I don't really know why he called. I know it was a weird play, and heck, our guy may have been even grabbing him into the end zone, which is technically illegal. But then I would say to those people who said that, I'd be like, hey, then they call the touchdown, throw the flag, we move 10 yards back, we kick the field goal, and hope our defense gets a stop.
Yeah.
So if it was truly that, then just throw the flag, call the touchdown, throw the flag. I don't know, but yeah, he was in, and his momentum never stopped going forward. But the ref said it, his momentum stopped, so it is what it is. I'm not saying a bowl game is rigged. It's the Music City Bowl. Come on now. The players on the field truly care. The fans do care, but no one. I mean, I would hope college football would not rig a bowl game, so no one really cares. It's the Music City Bowl. It was entertaining. It was fun. A lot of points scored. I can't complain.
I thought he was in. I mean,
yeah,
I don't understand how you can stop play in overtime. I mean, and yeah, it's just a bowl game, but last game of the year, and you stop a kid's forward progress.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your explanation?
I can't tell you. I haven't really thought about it since the day it happened, though. Why?
He was never even down.
He was never down.
Then what's your argument then? I mean,
I don't know.
It was a horrible call. Did they SEC ever come out and talk about? Well, I guess that wasn't.
Well, it wasn't the SEC refs. It was the ACC refs.
Yeah,
which are even worse refs.
Yeah,
than the SEC. Honestly, refs are just really bad nowadays. Yeah. I think they just get really confused because every single year there's new rules that pop up. Every single year they take away rules from the previous year. They need to do a better job. And I think they need to switch them to full time so that they can actually be held accountable and, be in post-game interviews and stuff like that. And, talk to the media, see what their thought process was. Because I think they would really help them to hear his side of the story. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he's just like, yeah, I kind of just screwed up, and kind of like the this is no relevance, but kind of like if we were to interview the guy, a decade ago for in baseball in the MLB, who called the dude safe when he was out for the perfect game, the Detroit Tigers pitcher. Like, there's nothing he could have said in a post game interview that would have done anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that you never know. But I think they should be full time and they should be treated and held accountable, just like coaches are and players are. You know.
I agree. We had some good games. The first game we'll talk about is UCF in Florida. Florida's just downright horrible. It's a little embarrassing. I mean, I know we lost to UCF a couple years ago, but they lost 29-17, and their running back had 155 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but I caught near the end. I'm a Gator hater, so anytime they're down or anything like that, I always like to tune in and watch them get beat, especially by should be a far inferior opponent. UCF, especially without Dylan Gabriel. I mean, they really weren't that great the whole year. UCF, they were solid enough to make a bowl game. They were solid enough to, get some big wins in the AAC, but they weren't great because they lost their quarterback. And your boy Gus pulls out a dub against the Gators. I mean, you got to love it. I mean, you don't really like Gus, but he did pull out a win against an SEC school.
I don't love it, but
Florida is absolutely terrible. But
yeah, they lost their program. I feel like they hit rock bottom and kind of are about to start rebuilding.
I mean, that's what the coach is going to have to do. Honestly, though, I thought it was a good hire. I don't think the AD at the time for Florida made a bad hire. I think Dan Mullen was actually a really good hire. I mean, he never showed, the only thing that was bad is he never showed that he could recruit at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
I would never blame somebody for that. It's so hard to recruit at Mississippi State. Not as hard as some schools because it is in the SEC and they can be 15 to 25, around there. But it is a tough school to recruit to. I mean, there's nothing really out there, and Mississippi State's probably never going to win a national championship of football. It just doesn't have that caliber. But he brought them, they were number one in the nation at one point, and
yep.
I just thought he would be really successful there because I don't think it's hard to recruit in Florida for Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Florida's loaded with talent, and Florida's the main school. I mean, you could argue early 2000s it might have been Miami, early 2010s it might have been Florida State, but overall I would consider Florida the main school there.
Absolutely, I would too. And it just sucks. I mean, I think he just kind of ran out of options. He rode with Emory Jones the whole year. He obviously was not the answer. And then I think, was it after the Georgia game? Maybe they talked about recruiting, and he said, "We'll worry about that in the off season or after the season." Just was never a good look. He rode out till he died with Emory Jones, and I'm sure he's not really upset. I'm sure he'll get another job, which he may have already. But
I think he'd be a good fit for the NFL. He's kind of a lazy recruiter, doesn't really care about recruiting. And you don't have to do that in the NFL. I mean, you have to scout obviously talent, but you don't have to recruit in the NFL. All you have to do is be a pretty good in-game coach. I think he'd be a pretty solid NFL coach if he ever wanted to go that route and said, okay, I'm just done with recruiting. Because honestly, if you can't pull top 10 with the state at which he got it, maybe, I guess, same with Tennessee, but still, if you can't pull top 15 classes or near there at any of these schools in the SEC, I think you're just almost being lazy.
Yeah, they're outside the top 50 now. I think they're 52.
Yeah. And especially being in Florida in the first or second, depending on what you view, Texas, maybe even third, depending on what you view, California, at least top 3 talent pools in the country,
Yeah, and it sucks, but we'll see if Billy Napier can do it. Have they got any big transfer portal guys or anything, or?
No, but I think he did. It's hard to say he did a good job, or it's hard to. I mean, he came in at the very end. There's nothing he could have done, but I think he did a good job of keeping maybe 2 of their big name guys in the recruiting class that they had. They may have only kept those 2. I'm not sure, but he tried to keep some of those guys on. But no, I don't think they've gotten any transfers so far. I mean, Tennessee hasn't really either, which I'm surprised of. I thought we were gonna hit the portal pretty hard.
I mean,
it's been pretty quiet lately. The quarter's been pretty quiet. No one's really gone anywhere just yet. I think everybody's just waiting it out. No need to rush.
No,
got plenty of time.
They're probably just waiting until National Signing Day right now. Do they have to? They have to sign right on National Signing Day if they do a transfer portal or no?
I'm
Like
not sure how that
sign?
works. I don't think so. I don't think that's really how it works. I think you can technically
You just go.
transfer whenever you want to, but you would want to be there. Obviously, for a football player, they want to be there
That's
before
true.
spring practice. So, at the very most, I think their decision will be made by March or April. But you want to at least be registered in the school, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure. Maybe they would register, practice with the can you practice with the football team but not register until the summer, or I don't
Good
know.
question. No, yeah, I don't know. You would think that if you're a transfer porter, you would want to get in here in January. That's when the second semester
Yeah.
starts, like you said, classes and things like that. So we'll see if people kind of come in later, right in between the during the semester. So
Ole Miss got a good transfer today, Zach Evans. He was originally a Georgia signee, I think, got in trouble, never even went there, and going to TCU and averaged 7 yards a carry. He's going to be a really good player in Lane's system. He will
okay.
be.
Yeah,
He's a solid running back. I was hoping Tennessee would make a run at him, but they never did for whatever. I don't think they ever. I mean, he does have baggage. There's no doubt about that. Zach Evans has some baggage with him, but he's a solid running back. So they did well there. I know that Lane said that he's getting pretty frustrated with the NIL and everything.
that's going to be a big problem, especially when Texas and Texas A&M. I mean, hell, Texas A&M. I mean, they're breaking records over there for how
Yeah,
well their
that
class,
National Signing Day was absolutely absurd. That was one of the best classes, if not the best class of all time.
and they just got old money, man. They're just opening that checkbook up. So it's gonna be interesting. Who else is going around? Auburn lost their defensive line coach today. Um,
Oh wow, that's big.
he's
That's
going to
what I'm
Clemson.
assuming he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was. He's going to Clemson, but we're getting a guy. Trying to look up his name real quick. Um, it's not confirmed that he's going to Clemson yet. Hold on. We did get Zach Calzada, which I think is a very good a very good recruit right there. I think it's going to be good for us. We haven't had a good quarterback in a while. I mean, if you want to
My
say
God, the offense
Marshall
needs it. I
was,
mean, y'all's offense is god awful, and they need it. I read a
we
tweet.
have Tank and we
I
have
read it. It
Tank
doesn't even when you have.
and Jarquez Hunter.
I was reading. I think it was an Auburn. It was an Auburn guy tweeting. He was like, and he was watching. Obviously, Tennessee's defense didn't show up. They under hype. Well, I don't know if we will ever have a solid defense. But he had tweeted, and it was during the Tennessee game. You see all these SEC schools basically scoring at will, and then you look at us, and we haven't really. He was just talking about how Auburn hasn't really morphed into that just yet.
No.
And they need to, man. All the SEC schools are. There's not one SEC school that isn't trying to score and score and score, besides maybe a Vanderbilt. But I mean, they just suck. So
Yeah. Right when November 1st hit, we completely shut down. We lost 5 straight. I think we averaged 13 points a game. It can't happen especially how good our defense played. They played lights. I mean, they played really good against Houston.
yeah, with Derek Mason's
Turnover.
doing what he's doing, with
Yeah.
the defense, if y'all can just score,
Hell, 24 points. Just give us
I
20.
don't even now in the West, 25. I would at least say just give them 28, and yes, 24 gives you a great shot.
Yep. It looks like we're going after the Cardinals defensive line coach Brinson Buckner. I don't really know D line coaches. I just kind of know run around with head coaches. So yeah, so it looks like we get another NFL guy. We just hired Austin Davis. I really like that hire.
I'm not with you on that, but I would like to see how it is. I mean, he's basically Russ has done really bad with him, so I don't know.
I know that's
and their offense has been bad since he's been there. So I'm not sure. Maybe Russ is just getting old, and he is.
Yeah.
He's taking a lot of hits in his career. I'm not sure. I have no idea really much about him, so I guess we'll see here coming up. But
and yeah, we can talk about the Houston Auburn game. That's what I had next. 17-13 Houston.
Yeah,
We control the game. I mean, 2
Yeah,
turnovers.
I don't know if I truly believe in Houston as being a great team,
No.
but better than you guys for sure
Yeah.
at that point in time at least.
Yeah.
And y'all played a solid game. It just came up short offensively.
We were winning. So I mean, they scored the first drive, and then after that, there was just 1 field goal. Other than that, we shut them out until the final drive in the fourth quarter, and they scored. And then we had 1 more chance, and we had 2 drops. And he is now off the team. Kobe Hudson. He left. He got kicked off. So
see, and also I think as a viewer, and I know, there's some people out there that played college football and stuff like that on the defensive side of the ball that love defensive side of games. I love scoring. I love to watch scoring. And I can tell you one thing, your 17-13 loss, you were probably way more pissed about that than I was, even though Purdue is probably a worse team than Houston, than my 48-45 or 48-45 loss, because, it's fun to watch those games regardless.
it's just frustrating.
You want to win, and it sucks, and it's frustrating to watch your defense always give up, but it's fun to watch. They're enjoying 17. I watched like 5 minutes of that game. I had to turn it off. I was like, this is boring. Punt, 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 punt. You know what I mean?
3 and out, 3 plays, 3 out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of boring, but Derek Mason's done a heck of a job. So
yeah,
as long as you keep him, I think he'll be. I don't care about the D-line coach. I'm sure he was good, but as long as you keep Derek Mason intact, he's going to be fine. Or that defense is going to be fine.
I couldn't find his name, but I believe he played at Clemson. That's why he's going back. Next game was Mississippi State.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was the next game was Mississippi State and Texas Tech. It was Mississippi State
came out of nowhere.
Mississippi State was minus 10.5. Didn't even score that. Scored 7.
I don't know how, man. I was like, revenge game for Mike Leach, gonna come out against his former team. I didn't read of anything that said that Mississippi State had any players out. I thought they were going to come out and pretty much dominate the game, maybe 14 to 21 type game. No, they got absolutely dominated to a very, very below mediocre Texas Tech team.
Yep. Will Rogers was 32 for 53, 290, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So it looks like they just couldn't get it in the end zone. I think they would get in the red zone and then just go for it, and they weren't getting it. And it just got too late. 34-7.
Bad look. I just don't. I mean, it's again though. It's hard to win at Mississippi State. That's why I thought Dan was going to be such a good hire for Florida. It's just tough. They're
happy with.
It's not a talent-rich school. They're happy, and I'm not saying that's bad. I mean, they're happy. Those fans are happy. Hey, just get us to a bowl game.
Yep.
And every so often get us to like 8-4, 9-3, and we'll be happy.
Yep.
That's what they expect out there, and I think Mike Leach can do that.
Yeah, and they're a baseball school. That's what they're mainly focused on and putting all their money into, which is fun.
Yeah,
which is fun. Next game we have Ohio State and Utah. That was an absolutely great game, phenomenal game.
2 really bad defenses like the Purdue and Tennessee game, but 2 really good offenses.
Ohio State figured it out in the second half. Man, they made adjustments, and I think they only gave up 3. It was 35. They gave up 10 points in the second half, which they gave up 35 in the first, but it's a good game.
Yeah,
they got to get better on defense, which they should. I think they just hired a defensive coordinator, so Kerry Coombs is out, or I think it's the name, the old Titans guy.
I mean, Ohio State's going to be there. They're going to be at least in the playoff conversation for the next 2 years. Every year mostly, but especially the next 2 years, because Stroud's a hell of a player. Again, it's like, he came out hot and he was fine. And finally the defense started showing up there at the end. So it allowed them to really come back. But we've said it all year, man. Stroud's the type in that first quarter, if he doesn't look too hot, he's probably not going to have a good rest of the game because he's a freshman. Maybe that changes next year. But he came out hot. I mean, it was like Utah 50-yard touchdown, Ohio State 50-yard touchdown. It kept going back and forth. It was super fun.
4 touchdowns in 50 seconds or some crazy crap like that.
Yeah, and that was the most ridiculous stat line I've ever seen out of a receiver in college.
Man,
347 yards. I looked at that again. I was like, I mean, most quarterbacks don't even get that total in a whole game.
And he should have had another touchdown, but he got tackled going into the end zone and fumbled it. So it should have been 35-20 at halftime. And then he fumbled it right at the 1.
Crazy, man. But Utah, I mean, I think they get a lot of people back. Utah will be a sneaky team next year. I'm not saying they could,
their quarterbacks
dominate in the playoff, but they could get there. The Pac-12 is not strong.
No.
They could run the table next year.
Bo
Go
Nix is
through
there.
10-0,
Bo Nix
squeak
is
in
there.
and lose, huh?
Bo Nix is there. They're gonna have to beat a tough Oregon team next year.
Oh yeah, that team that they just beat by 30 twice in a row.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine beating them, beat the brakes off of them again,
Yeah.
especially with a new coach. I don't know how Dan Lanning's going to do over there
Yeah. I don't either.
from Georgia. I think in the Pac-12 you have to score points, so I'm interested to see. He may have already had his offensive hire, but in the Pac-12 you got to score points.
Yeah, I think it was Dillingham that used to be at Auburn. That's why Bo Nix went. Remember, he was the quarterback. He was the quarterback's coach at Memphis.
Yeah.
Came to Auburn and then left to go. I don't Troy with Chip Lindsey, maybe. Maybe that's wrong, but anyways, that's why Bo Nix went there, just to follow him because he played with him for 1 year here in Auburn.
Yeah, Utah's quarterback can play.
He was good, man. Then he got hurt at the end, and you just knew it was over after that.
Yeah, he's a good player though. Good game, good Rose Bowl game to watch. No complaints there.
So a big game, Cincinnati, Alabama, 27-6 Alabama. Just an absolute domination performance by Alabama.
Especially their defense. Cincinnati's secondary is good.
Yeah.
Their defense tried to let them hang in the game, and their offense just kept getting the ball back going 3-and-out. I mean, there was nothing much they could do. But Cincinnati's defense did show up. That's the only thing I will say. Their offense, they just got dominated offensively. Bama's defense, they couldn't do anything with him, especially Will Anderson, who's an absolute nightmare.
Line of scrimmage was a disaster. They were blitzing and they weren't even getting blocked.
Yeah. I do think Bama got a little bit cute though. I think they could have won that game by 40 or so. They kept trying to pass, and it's like Cincinnati's main thing. They have really good DBs, and they kept trying to pass after, Robinson was having just a field day. They'd run right down the field, run right down the throat, score a touchdown. Then the next drive, they throw it 3 times in a row. So
yeah, and they weren't even going down. They weren't going deep. They were just little outs and little. I mean, they didn't even run RPO at all.
I honestly think Saban came into this game and was like, hey, let's just not get anybody else injured. Mechie's already injured.
Yep.
If we get Williamson injured too, then we're just kind of screwed for the Georgia game. So he came in, he saw the film, he knew they were probably going to dominate. He saw what they did the first drive and then what they continue to do on the defensive side of the ball and said, nope, we're not getting anybody hurt, short routes, run the football. Let's get this game over with.
Let's get it over with. I looked at Pamela the whole time, and I 100% believe they could have beat them by 40. No question. I just think they just wanted to run the football, do what they had to do your job. Let's get out of there. Let's prepare for Georgia.
And so this right here, and it's not, I will never complain with more football, but this right here is exactly why I have a hard time. And I'm always for more football. If they want to put 12 teams in, put 12 teams in for me. I'm just saying it's a waste of time for these top teams, man. Every year the semifinals are already a blowout, and we want to add 6 more teams to the mix. And we know it's going to be usually the top 2 teams every year, regardless of who the top 2 teams are. They usually are far and away better than the rest of the field. Yeah. I mean, these semifinal games are blowouts every year. There's only been like 1 or 2 that have been good games. So we want to just add 6 more games to that and just watch more blowouts. It's fine with me. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But it's just like
more of a chance to make it.
Yeah, to make it and get stomped.
I'd rather be there and get stomped.
Yeah, no, you're right. No. Exactly. You're exactly right.
This isn't basketball. College basketball, like anything can happen, and you've seen that. Football,
because football they're two totally different sports. Basketball, yes, there can be physical dominance and physical presence, like down low and stuff, but you're at the end of the day, it's still a non-contact sport. You can't just you can physically impose your will in basketball, but you can easily, if you get hot from 3, anything can happen if you get hot from 3. Whereas football, if you dominate the line of scrimmage, the ball game's over. If one team dominates the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, it's going to be over. You know what I mean? And they're just 2 totally different sports in that aspect.
Yeah. The next game, we got Georgia and Michigan.
Another complete domination.
My
Wolves.
My Wolves. They didn't look too good that game. Georgia,
no, because they are who we thought they were. Ohio State just wasn't the team we thought they were. That's what it boils down to.
Yep.
That's all it boils down to. Michigan is who we thought they were. They weren't gonna. Everybody was like, "Oh, they can match their strength on the line of scrimmage." Absolutely freaking not. There's nothing you can really say about that besides we got fooled because we thought Ohio State was better than they were.
Correct. Yeah, I think, I just think overall Alabama, Georgia were just that above everybody else. I think everyone else is kind of in their pool, whatever, but then it's just Alabama, Georgia up at the very top. And I think that's it. That's all it was this year. Whereas those two teams are the completely two best teams in college football. And this national championship is correct this year.
I mean, it generally is pretty correct, the national championship. Yeah, I mean, Michigan State obviously is a really good football team. They're just not great.
No.
And I don't know if there was another great football team in it besides Georgia and Bama.
Correct.
Penn State. And even Bama's had their faults this year, but they got hot at the right time. Obviously,
Arkansas beat Penn State. There was another. No, I mean Arkansas dominated that game. I don't know if you watched it.
I watched a little bit of it.
They dominated that game in the second half.
Yeah, but Penn State's a bad football team.
Yeah, I was just saying more so the overrated side of the Big Ten.
I don't think there's. I think the Big Ten is overrated. I don't know, man. A lot of the Big Ten besides Ohio State just play some boring football.
It's really boring. You're right.
It's hard to watch at times, really. Iowa's hard to watch.
Man, they don't score.
No.
Wisconsin the same way. I mean, Wisconsin had some good wins, but they won their bowl game 20-13. That's it. But they're run the ball first, and we're not going to pass, and we're not going to pass all over you.
Yeah, and I think that's why this year it happened where Ohio State going for speed actually finally caught up to them a little bit. They faced Michigan in the snow, and Michigan kind of dominated the line of scrimmage in that game. But I think Ohio State, 19 times out of 20 wins this conference. It just, they've adapted to the new day and age in college. And I don't think I've seen another Big Ten team adapt. I really don't. Yes. I can't name you another one.
Mm-hmm. Sean Clifford.
I mean, Maryland's trying to, but just because you try to do it doesn't mean you have the personnel to do it. You know what I mean?
Penn State has that one wide receiver, Dotson. He's pretty good. And Sean
Clifford, they have good receivers. It's just like they're still in most of the time. I mean, they just because you go into shotgun doesn't mean you're not still pro style. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Just because you're still not spread, you're still not throwing the ball around the yard. Yeah. I don't know. And maybe, I don't know, man, because then teams like Michigan are going to always face someone, but like Georgia is just too big for Michigan. You have to fight Georgia with a spread offense, with something that doesn't have to go in the trenches with them, kind of like what Bama did on offense.
Yep. The next topic would be Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh.
Oh, didn't they say he might go back to the NFL?
He may be going to the NFL next year. That'd be a really interesting move. I feel
he was a good NFL coach,
I feel like he's more of an NFL coach than college, obviously.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think he has, and I know Michigan's not as great as some, but I think he's kind of turning that program around a little bit. I feel like he's going to continue next year if he stays the momentum from this year to next year. I think I really do like McNamara for the Big Ten. I think it's going to come down to the Ohio State game yet again. I mean,
but does he like McNamara? He was still playing that other kid in that game. I don't understand if he even
more of a running guy. Yeah, I don't know. I think McNamara didn't have that great of a game, but it's
Georgia's defense. I mean,
yeah, and he put him on in the second half, and the kid did okay actually.
I love the different side of the ball. I think Harbaugh, especially in the Big Ten, is good enough to go get you 8, 9, 10 wins each year. I think this was a fluke year, though. I think they're going to go back next year to lose. No, I do. I think they're going to go back next year. They're going to lose to Ohio State, and all is right.
They're not going to win.
You know what I mean? I think it was a fluke year. I don't think he'll get back to the Big Ten championship for another few years. And then if he's still at Michigan, maybe he does. And maybe he's just one of those coaches once every 10 years he'll beat his rival or something.
10 years, man. Golly.
Unless they finally say, okay, because their defense is good enough, obviously, to win the Big Ten. They showed that against Ohio State, but they need to gut the entire offense,
Yeah.
And not play dudes who are one-dimensional, like the quarterback they keep throwing in there when McNamara is fine. I don't understand that.
It didn't make sense to me either. I don't know if it's because they're trying to run the little option real quick and get some.
But they know that. You know what I mean? The defense
Yeah.
knows it. When you put in a guy like that, like, okay, they're going to run the ball. And
Yeah.
they run the ball, and he gets no yards. I've never seen him come in and a play work. Seriously, I haven't. I don't think I've watched a Michigan game. He came in
against Georgia. He scored a touchdown at the end. I mean, I don't
at
know.
the end. That doesn't
I
even
don't know if the
count.
starters were in, but they
That
still got
doesn't
a
even
touchdown.
count.
And then now, last game of the year, we got Alabama, Georgia. Alabama's plus 2.5. I don't understand that. What are you thinking? Who you got?
You already know who I got, Bama. I don't care what the line is. You don't go against Nick Saban, not in big games. You just don't do it. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. We just went through this in the SEC championship. They were hype on Georgia. They should have been hype on Georgia. Bama coming off that Auburn game, and Bama showed them, we have the better coach. He prepares better. He's literally the best coach of all time. And then you're going to give me again a game where they're dogs again, because obviously they're like, okay, Cincinnati or Michigan's a better team than Cincinnati, and Georgia absolutely dominated. Whereas we believe in what we saw, if you look with your eyes, that Saban just kind of, he was pedaling on the gas, but he wasn't putting his own floorboard. He didn't want anybody else injured.
No.
Bama.
Well, I took Bama money line. They were plus 106, and I kind of waited around, see if it'd go up or down. They went to plus 101. So I just got a little bit of odds. But yeah, I mean, I'll never bet against Alabama. Never. It's just
it's too hard to, man. It's too
hard. I don't think Stetson is going to be able to outscore Bryce.
What have I done all year? And what has worked 80% of the time? When a line is close, I go with the better quarterback. I've done it the whole year, and I've said it the whole year.
You got to go Bryce.
And it usually happens, I'm going to go Bryce over Stetson. And Stetson's had a hell of a season. He played a hell of a game the other night. Nick Saban's just going to find a way to confuse him. He is, just like he did in the SEC championship game.
Yep.
He doesn't have the raw talent to be able to overcome any of that. You know what I mean?
And I don't think he can throw for 400 yards and against a really good defense. And especially Nick Saban, I don't think he can do it. I think Bryce Young can do it against Georgia. Obviously, we've seen it before, him do it before. So I think he does it again and just picks him apart.
Yeah. And I think obviously it's a little bit closer this time. I don't think it's a blowout.
No, it's definitely not a blowout.
I mean, no Mechie. I'm pretty sure the Alabama secondary is pretty shot. But even against those odds, I mean, I'm still never going to go against.
You got a 5-star on the bench, ready. Come on, coach. Let me in. Yep. So
I'm not going to go against Mr. Nick. It's unwise, It's not wise to go against him.
He'll win you some money. And I don't know if Kirby Smart's going to be able to do it. I don't think he can outcoach Nick. I just don't think so.
I think if he has a really solid quarterback, I think he could do it. But he's got to be able to, recruit the solid quarterback, which he has now. They have a couple like Vandergraff and a couple other people coming in. I think it's Vandergriff or Vandergraff or something. You got to be able to develop those good quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
The 5-star backup?
Yeah. Well, they have one backup now and one that's coming in.
I want to say he's transferring.
There's no way he'd be the starter on deck next year unless Stetson may have another year of eligibility.
Are you talking about Gunnar Stockton? That's the 5-star right now.
Yeah, but there's another one named like Vandergriff or something.
Brock Vandergriff.
Yeah, him. Yeah, I think Stockton may be transferring because of Vandergriff.
Okay, there's somebody is transferring, I think, because I mean you can't have that many 5-stars and a kid not to play.
You can, but kids just aren't patient anymore.
No.
And I don't blame them. I mean, if you can find somewhere that's still a really solid football team that you can start day one, I'm not going to blame you for it. But my nightmare is we still got to deal with Bryce Young for the next 2 years.
No,
he's a freshman.
Yeah. Red shirt.
Hell, Bama's never gonna be bad. Nick Saban's never gonna retire. I'm gonna be in this. I hate it. but never bet against them.
Never bet against them. Moving on to NFL. Man, oh man.
It's been a pretty wild couple weeks.
Our Titans did it.
Yeah, they did it, and if they beat the Texans Sunday, they're the number one seed, even without big old Derek.
And this will be the third time in history, right?
Yeah, a lot of reporters eating their words about this the Titans team and not being able to. I mean, everybody said the season was over, and we have a shot against a pretty bad team to clinch the number one seed, and we have a shot, at the Super Bowl, man. We do. Great Super Bowl defense. Derek coming back, but do I think so? I mean, I'm a kind of a negative person, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, I honestly still believe it's going to be Chiefs versus Packers in the Super Bowl. I don't know how the Chiefs will do it. I think it's such a Sunday is so big. It's such a huge advantage not to have to go to Kansas City. Yep. I mean, it's massive. Kansas City is the top 3 hardest place to play, especially when it's that cold out there. If you can clinch the number one, I mean, you got to go all out. You can't lose this game.
You can't lose it. So
this is your Super Bowl. You have to go to Kansas City. I just don't think you pull it out.
So here's the big question of the week. Obviously, 104.5 The Zone. Do you play Derek, and how many carries do you give him?
No.
Play him.
I was on the fact that maybe get some carries. It's Derrick Henry. He didn't forget how to play football. He's 6'4", he's going to be able to, he's going to want to hit either way. Don't get him hurt. That extra bite, especially if you're winning, maybe you throw him in there if you're losing in the second half or something, but I don't think so. I don't think I'm on either edge though. Like if they did play him, I wouldn't be that mad, but why not get him some extra rest? You don't forget how to play football. You do. I don't know, man, because he does need to see
the speed of the game.
The speed of the game is just, it can. I don't know. I don't know.
This is what I've said.
5 to 7 carries if we play him. Just get him hit a little bit and let him see the field a little bit.
I said to start him up front. Let him give him 5 carries and then shut it off. But let it start. Let him start. Just do it the beginning of the game. Get him a couple carries. See how he feels. If it's a little uncomfortable, shut it down. You got a week to prepare.
No, you have way longer than that if you win the football game.
So you have this weekend. The next weekend's the thing. Oh, and then the next. So you got
because we would get the bye.
That's right. Man, I don't, because you can put him in practice, but
he just started fully practicing yesterday though, so I doubt he plays. I don't think he plays.
Oh yeah, I doubt. And I mean, it really just depends on how he feels. Well, we won't know because we don't have insider sources, but I don't know. I think it's going to be on. I think they're going to let Derek decide based on how his body feels. Because I mean, he's obviously taking care of it well, and he's trained.
I hate letting the player decide because he's going to be like, "I'm playing." He's a competitor. Maybe. I mean, I don't know Derek, but he seems like he would want to be out there and playing if he was.
But not week 18 against the Texans. I mean, they beat us. They beat us, but
they beat it. That was a rain-filled game. Whatever. We didn't have AJ or Julio. I mean,
rest Julio until the Super Bowl. I don't give a shit. That guy is made of glass. No, he's done until the Super Bowl, I guess.
I don't know. We're going to have to – obviously, he's not going to be on the team next year. I mean, there's probably a 5% chance he is. We got to find – we just go out there and get a young guy, man. I don't mind it. Why don't you just draft – they should have drafted one this year.
Who'd we even get the first round?
Caleb Farley, and he's been hurt the whole year.
He tore his ACL, right?
Man. I'm not mad about the draft. I'm not going to get upset about the draft. I'm just saying in general. I think we should have. Elijah Moore is right there. I think we should have grabbed him, but
yeah, that'd have been a nice pick. I don't even think he plays that much with the Cardinals with AJ Green and I guess and Hopkins, but
no, that's Rondale Moore. Elijah was the one from Ole Miss. He went to the Jets.
I hadn't heard much of him. Has he played a lot this year?
He's done well. Yeah, he's done well this year. Not anything crazy like a Jamar Chase, but he's done well in his rookie year.
Jamar. Bengals. I mean, I think Burrow's sitting out this week. I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, I don't think that, but they don't have any risk of anything. They're going to get what they get.
Yeah.
I mean, they played. That was a heck of a game. Chiefs defense finally faltered and didn't look great. They've been looking great the last 10 weeks.
Yep.
Finally, they looked bad, and Jamar Burrow and Jamar just tore them up. I don't know who let them play on the same team again, but Jesus Christ, man. You already saw them in college at LSU. I don't know who let them draft Jamar again. Their chemistry is just off the charts.
Then you give them Joe Burrow. God.
Yeah, their chemistry is off the charts. They're a good football team too, man. You got to watch. I think anybody on either. I'm trying to think of a team like the Eagles. I don't think have a shot in hell.
No. The Rams have been playing like shit past couple of weeks.
But they're still 11-5. Still a really good football team.
You got Cowboys, Rams, and Packers.
I think anybody in the NFC and AFC this year, besides the Eagles, really besides the Eagles, can win it. I think I truly think the wild card teams can. The Cardinals and the Rams are both wild card, or the Cardinals are a wild card team. They can win it for sure.
I don't think the Colts can.
I think they can.
Not with Carson. I don't think they win one with Carson.
I think their defense is good enough, and
obviously
I think Carson can do enough to win you a couple. I don't know about the Super Bowl, but I think they can upset round one, and I think they can upset. I think they can make it to the AFC Championship.
And they're going to play Bills, right? They open up with the Bills.
Maybe, yeah.
Bills or Patriots, and they have to.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not a long shot. I'm saying there's a shot. There's a chance.
No,
and not they're in it, so there's a chance. No, I truly don't think the Eagles have any shot in hell of winning. I truly think there's at least a slight chance that if Carson, gets hot or something, along with Jonathan Taylor and that defense, they could make some noise. And I think any team in the playoffs this year can make some noise. It's going to be fun NFL playoffs. It really is.
He's going to make it, I would think.
I think you would think,
defense that kind of scares me.
Yeah, but he's going to win the MVP, no doubt, in my mind. Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. He's not vaccinated. I don't think he'll get a vote for some people.
He's going to win it.
Did you see that?
By a wide margin. No, I think that dude said he was like a douche or something, which is
he called him a
bum. You're going to base your MVP voting off if he's a douche. Like, what in the world is that? That's so dumb.
He's a jackass. He's an asshole. Okay.
Cool. He's damn good at football.
So the first
I'd love that asshole right now. Hell, Tennessee with Aaron Rodgers, I'd put $1 million on us to win the Super Bowl. Obviously don't have $1 million, but Jesus Christ. Who wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers on their team?
So our Super Bowl odds are plus 950. I think Vrabel wins Coach of the Year. He has to. I don't care.
Winning Coach of the Year, unfortunately.
Matt LaFleur, or whatever, and
Zach Taylor. Yeah, I don't think Vrabel. I think he deserves it. I don't think he will though.
That's the Bengals. Zach who?
Taylor.
They've had a good year as well. I think it's going to come down to Vrabel and Matt LaFleur. So, but yeah. So Saturday night we have Chiefs and Broncos, and Chiefs are minus 11.5. The big question is are the Chiefs going to be battling for that first place?
Well, what time is it?
It's a good question. I don't know.
It depends on what time. If the game's at noon, they gotta play Mahomes. If the game's at 8,
they play Saturday.
Oh, then they have to. The Titans don't play till Sunday.
Yeah, so they play Saturday at 3:30. Chiefs.
Yeah, Mahomes will play. Where at?
It's in Denver, and it's 11.5.
I like Denver plus 12. It's hard to bet Chiefs games in my opinion. Chiefs will win the football game, but Denver is a solid football team. They just can't really score points, It's hard to play at Denver.
It is. And 11 is a lot of points, especially the NFL.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos plus 12, even if it's like a 24-14 type game.
I like that bet as well. I like Broncos plus 12. I just don't know how hard Kansas City's going to try. I think they win the game, but is Denver going to come out they're done. They're not making the playoffs. So they're going to come out motivated to play this game.
Yeah, they could come out and try to ruin
Yeah.
whatever. Ruin the 1 seed. I mean, they're not ruining really anything else, but
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'll take Broncos in 12. That night we have Eagles and Cowboys at 7:15. I'm assuming the Cowboys.
Really big game now. That Eagles game at the beginning of the year, that was an easy bet. I had Cowboys all the way, but the Eagles have been playing pretty good.
They have been playing really good, and Jalen's been looking good, man.
What's the line?
Cowboys are -5. I'm sorry.
I still got Cowboys.
You do?
At Philadelphia, I would assume though.
It's in Philly, and it's
depending on the weather. But the Cowboys just, dude, I don't know. They had the one game versus the Redskins. Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about. I mean, that Redskins game was absolutely absurd. 56-7 or something at half. I don't know. It's something weird.
Yeah, absolutely nothing at half. But then they lose to the Cardinals last week. I mean, they looked like crap last week.
Well, they've only had one good game in the past 7, and that was the Redskins game, and the Redskins are bad. So I think, the Eagles can upset this game, but I'm still going to go Cowboys. And wait, who did the Cowboys just lost somebody? Gallup, torn ACL.
Correct. Yep. He got hurt catching an end zone.
I think he's an underrated football player. I like Gallup.
I do too. All the big names came in, and remember he was the big guy.
Yeah.
Last year, 2 years ago, and then they got CD, and I think CD kind of took.
You know what? I'm going to get a whole point. Give me the Eagles. I've talked myself into Eagles +6.
I can't fight that with you, man. Cowboys aren't playing too well. I mean, they're number 1 right now anyway, so they don't really. This game doesn't really mean much to them. I like Eagles +6 as well, and they're playing good football.
Yeah,
can't fight against that.
They're playing pretty good football. That video of Jalen's knees almost getting taken out was wild.
Which one?
The fans.
Oh my gosh!
When they fell over.
Yeah,
dude, I would have laid there.
Dude, I saw
that so hard.
Man, I'd have been like, my shoulder's dislocated. Yeah, dude, I'd have got some pain and suffering out of that game. Golly, they need to rebuild. So they're getting a new name.
The Admirals, right?
Is that what it is? I never saw.
I saw something that might have been a leak, and it was the Washington Admirals, but I'm not sure.
I mean, they're getting new uniforms, new jerseys, new everything. I saw the preview.
I still can't call them anything but the Redskins. I really can't. I still call them the Redskins.
It's the football team. You gotta come correct. The football team. Yeah. So the Admirals you saw, that's an interesting name. I mean, I think that's better than. I feel like it
could have been worse, no doubt.
It could have been worse for sure, no question. Some stupid shit. Bullets.
I don't even know it. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else you would call them. Really,
Washington.
That wouldn't be an absolute train wreck.
The next game is the Browns and the Bengals. It's in Cincinnati. No, it's in Cleveland.
And these aren't playing though.
And why is Baker not playing?
They just hung it up. He's going to go have surgery.
As he should have this whole time. And
he's terrible, though. I don't care. Dude started out the game the other day 1 for 10 with a pick.
I saw that.
And it's his left labrum. It's not like it's his right throwing arm. It's his left one.
He's asking for a trade, I believe.
Who's going to want him?
I'd take him.
Yeah. Good luck with that. We would be so bad.
Screw Katie.
Well, he started out dude, that was the weirdest game ever. He was 1 for 10, and Pittsburgh and Roethlisberger was 17 of 23 with only 50 yards passing. He completed 17 balls for 50 yards. It was this is the worst game I've ever seen in my life. Please get me out of here. Everybody was like, oh, he's going to go off because it's Roethlisberger's last game. It's just because it's his last game doesn't mean he's going to go off. He's old and he sucks now. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's terrible.
I did bet Steelers money line in the second quarter.
Why would you not? They were up. They went up 10-0.
It was 0-0, and Cleveland had the ball. And I got plus 110 odds for Steelers money line. I was like, yeah, I'll take it for $20, whatever.
I mean, gosh, those are if the Steelers somehow make it in, I know the Titans lost to them, blah, blah, blah. Fully healthy, I would love to face the freaking Steelers in the playoffs. I think anybody would. That's another team. If they make it, they have no shot in heck of winning it.
No, they have absolutely no shot at all.
No.
Where's Juju been? Is he hurt still, or was he hurt?
I think he's hurt. Yeah.
Anyways, Bengals Browns. Bengals are -6. Both both starting quarterbacks aren't playing. I think Browns are a little train wreck right now inside. But the thing is, I think Case Keenum's better than whoever the backup is for Bengals.
So it's not still AJ McCarron, right?
Dude,
I don't think it is. I mean, that was a few years ago.
I didn't even think about that. Oh no, it's Brandon Allen.
Oh God. Remember, he was like 28 in that Oklahoma State in college.
No, this is Brandon Allen from Arkansas.
The big old dude?
6'2", 209. No. That was Ryan Mallett. That was Ryan
Mallett. Yeah, he was massive.
Brandon Allen came from Arkansas. This guy's 28, though. 29. I don't remember when he was at Arkansas, but I remember he was at Arkansas. But
this is a bet I wouldn't touch. I mean,
no,
how do you think it's gonna happen? I guess the Bengals -6 because they got Jamar Chase and the Browns don't.
Yeah, but they're not playing.
Oh, Jamar isn't playing either.
I don't know for a fact, but I would assume the wide receivers are not playing.
You still have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. You don't think they're playing either?
Yeah, so it's Brandon Allen versus Case Keenum. I don't see anything about the wide receivers not playing, so they may be playing. It's more so just the two quarterbacks. They're not.
I really just don't think the Browns can even score the football. They're that bad.
Yeah, but is Case Keenum not better than Brandon Allen?
He definitely doesn't have the weapons that the Bengals do if Jamar plays.
That's true. I mean, I'm not going to bet it, but
no, I see what you're saying. I think but this isn't one of those games where I'm like, oh, it's only 3 or less points. I'm going to go with the better quarterback. I just think the Bengals are a way better team
overall. Yeah.
But I mean, Nick Chubb, I'm assuming will play. I'm going Bengals -6. Again, I'm not going to bet it, and I advise everybody out there not to bet it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go Browns +7 or +7. I'm gonna buy the point. Just +7, whatever. Next game, Steelers and Ravens. Ravens are -5. I looked on there, and the injury list, and Lamar was not on there, so I'm assuming he's going to play. It's in Baltimore. Steelers aren't good, besides T.J. Watt. Well, I like Ravens -5. They're kind of playing for something. I guess, is this the game the winner goes, it gets in?
I don't think the Ravens – do the Ravens have a shot of getting in?
They're both 8-7, 8-8.
I think they have a shot. Oh, they're 8-8, though. I don't know, dude. I don't even know if they have a shot, the Ravens. They got a lot of teams above them that are 8-7. I think if a lot of people lose, yes. I think they're playing for something, yes.
The problem is
that something may be very low.
Colts the Jaguars, which the Colts should win.
I mean, yeah, Colts, the winner of the Raiders, Chargers will get in, and then the Patriots. Like,
are the Raiders playing? Are the Raiders trying to get in as well? I guess so, against the Chiefs.
I mean, the Raiders have the same record as the Colts and the head-to-head. It's just the reason why
they're playing the Chargers. I'm sorry, they're playing the Chargers.
Right. So if they beat the Chargers, I think they may be in.
But if the Colts lose, and if the Chargers and Raiders just happen to tie, they both make it. The Colts are out.
Yeah, and
one of them wins.
There's 3 wild card teams this year.
Patriots
would make it, Raiders would make it, Chargers would make it.
Dude, that's crazy. That's gonna be a fun Sunday.
But I think the Ravens, yeah, sure. If like the Colts lose and then the Chargers lose and then they be 9-8, and the Patriots, Raiders, and Ravens might get in. I mean, that could be the way it works. So I think they are playing for the hope that something may happen. Yeah. So yeah, I like the Ravens as well. And they've been looking good with Huntley here lately. Their offense seems like they've just not really retooled it. They're doing the same things. They're just doing a lot better than what they were. They've been riddled with injuries, just like the Titans have. So I think they came really close from beating the Rams last week. I mean, I think that was a really good football game. Yep. It's tough to win in Baltimore, regardless.
Yep. And then they lost 2 games going for it on at the very end going for 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Is what it is. I mean, what's the brother's name?
The brother's name.
Jim Harbaugh's brother's name. What's his name?
Oh, John.
I mean,
yeah.
Dude, he I think he's a good coach, and I like that he asks his players what they like. He's a big player guy, players coach, and I like that he asked, what his team wanted to do. They all said go.
They're going to say it every time.
Obviously, at one point maybe it's like, hey, you know what? Let's go to OT this game.
Yeah, but I mean, I think one of them against Green Bay, they did have all the. I mean, Green Bay was up like 14, 17 points in that game.
Yeah,
and they had all the momentum. I think they had just stole it. And you're leaving the game down to a coin toss because AR is just going to go down there and score.
Yeah.
The only reason people come back on Green Bay is this is the reason why I don't understand, when you have an amazing quarterback like that. I mean, yes, you want to run the clock out, but why get so conservative that you're running it every single play? And it's so, you know what I mean? You have Aaron Rodgers. Like, if he doesn't see a person open, just tell him to slide or something. I don't know. It's weird in those games.
He's kind of fast a little bit.
Huh?
He's kind of fast a little bit. He gets up there sometimes.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is leave the game in Rodgers' hands. I don't know why.
Every time.
I don't know why they allow it to even get to that point, But
and then so we both picked Baltimore -5, but the next game is the Chargers and Raiders. It's in Las Vegas. Raiders have a lot of distractions again.
They've held it together though, man. I commend them for what they've done this year. I mean, they have a shot to make the playoffs, and they had, their coach gets fired. They had 2 dudes get DUIs, one of them being a really big contributor. Like, they've held it together. I mean, they just beat the Colts coming off all that news, which is nuts.
Yeah. The Chargers and Justin Herbert.
What's the line?
3. I think they
give me Herbert.
Give him the score.
3 or less. Give me the better quarterback every time.
You're done. Justin Herbert -3.
And David. Yeah. No. I'm just but Derek. Carr is a great quarterback. Derek Carr. I don't know. David's his brother. David was the Houston quarterback a long time ago, but he's had a solid year, and he has been solid. Mm-hmm. His first couple of years, everybody thought he was the next real deal. And they made the playoffs, and he got injured right before the playoffs. I remember they went like 12-4, and he hasn't really been the same since, but he's still a solid quarterback. But he's not better than Herbert. No.
Better than Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
That'd be
you hate Carson Wentz. This is about to be a Carson Wentz hate show. I mean, that's what our thing's going to boil down to. I think he's a solid. I think he's solid. I think he can make the plays if sometimes when you need him. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's good. I think he's right. He's just mediocre.
My cousin's friend Noah's a huge Colts fan, and he just absolutely talks mad shit all the time. So I always give him hell when Carson sucks it up. So I've been on the past couple of weeks. I've been on the screw Carson train so far. So that's why I'm a little hyped up. I'm still not.
I'll tell you what though, Carson is a massive person.
Dude, he's like 6'4", 240.
No. He's like 6'7".
What?
Dude, I'm telling you, when he walks next to those defensive linemen, I'm like, this dude is massive.
Is he really?
Dude, I'm telling you, he's like 6'6". He's got to be. I mean, he's big.
He's 6'5".
Oh, he's only 6'5". Still, though, he's big.
He's only 6'5". It doesn't.
I feel like he just towers over people, though.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 240.
I mean, that's a big boy, dude. That's Cam Newton right there.
Dude,
if only he could run like Cam, but.
God, I watched a Cam video the other day. I loved it. I think his career's done after this year.
Yeah, his career's done. He sucks.
Hell, dude, put him in Cleveland. Why not?
Dude, even I might take Baker over him now. Just because dude, he was awesome for a while. I just think he got too many hits.
I think
they never protected him, dude. You watch old videos of Cam. I mean, he would get drilled 5 seconds after letting the ball go. Helmet to helmet, there'd be just no calls.
The thing that confuses me the most is his arm slot. I don't understand why it's changed.
It's changed because he had all that surgery, I'm pretty sure, on his shoulder.
Is that what it was?
And genuinely, I think it hurts him to not throw from the lower arm slot.
It's more here and here instead of
it's like really compact. Yeah.
And he like moves his head.
And it looks like
it's definitely bad. Definitely worse.
And it looks like he's always like aiming upward with his front shoulder. It's like he's like, and then he's trying to throw. I don't know. It is weird.
He's down.
I don't want to disrespect Cam though, dude.
You know, I'm not. I mean, hell, he's the best thing that ever came out of Auburn, but
yeah, one of.
Yeah, you could argue that he was better than Bo, like more popular and better. I guess more so the best thing to come out of Auburn. He got a national championship. He got a Heisman. I mean,
I'm not arguing with you on that fact. I'm just saying, athlete-wise, I still think Bo gets him because he was a multiple.
Oh, athlete? Yeah, I'm just talking about stats. I mean, I guess he's there longer than Cam, wasn't he? So stats definitely wouldn't be it. More so, I can just argue he won his national.
Charles Barkley.
Oh God, he was good. Didn't win his national championship though.
No.
And in the last game, I don't know if it matters much. I guess it does for the Dolphins, but Patriots and Dolphins. Patriots are -6.5 in Miami.
-6.5 I mean, it matters for the Patriots. If the Bills lose, whoever they play, and they win, they win the division.
That's true. Now they don't get a first round bye or nothing though.
Where is it at? It's at Miami, and it's Patriots -6. This may be a hot take. I don't know. I think we feel the same. I think Tua is a bust. I just don't think he'll ever be a great NFL player. And I think their only offensive asset is Jalen Waddle, and as long as you game plan for him, you're fine. So I like Patriots big. I just don't try. I don't think the Dolphins are any good. I think the Titans just exposed them too. They came off of a 6-game win streak against all bad teams.
7.
And then the Titans just shut them down, shut them off.
Yep.
I think they get blown out.
I agree.
As long as the Patriots do have something to play for, I think they get blown out.
I agree. I'm with you on Patriots -6.5. The Bills play the Jets. That's why I did not say that game.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So they're going to win no matter what, I would assume. Man,
you can't think like that, though. It's NFL. I mean, the Bills have a 9-6 loss against the Jags this year.
Yep, that's true. Hell, I mean, the Jets gave the Buccaneers a good game last week.
Antonio Brown. All that stuff coming out, though, they're saying that they're trying to make him play injured.
The bad thing is that Bruce Arians never liked AB. He's never liked him. Yeah. He never wanted him on the team. It's just because Tom Brady wanted him on the team.
I think Bruce is an interesting, kind of a weird dude.
I do too.
Like, I think he's a heck of a coach, but I just think I get weird vibes from Bruce Arians. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't seem
like I don't want to assume anything. I wouldn't put it past him to try to play injured players. I have no idea. I think he's just an old school coach, you know.
Yeah. Get in there.
He has an old school attitude. Hey, if you're 80, 75+%, you need to be out there playing football. I just think that's the way. And I don't commit. Like, I would never say that's a really, really bad thing or a really, really good thing. But, and it couldn't all not be true. It could just be Antonio being crazy. And
I heard that.
I don't know, man. That whole situation's weird.
I heard that they put Antonio Brown in just the run plays. And
he ran a route. Actually, he ran a really good route. One of them. And I'm not saying he could have tweaked it on the route that I saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he ran a route. I mean, he caught 1 or 2 passes, I think.
I don't know, man. But the thing is if you're hurt, why are you running off the field doing jumping jacks in the end zone during play?
Well, I mean, jumping jacks are far, far different than running.
Correct.
Cutting, getting hit. He
didn't act hurt or show that he was hurt when he was running off the field. That's why it was such a big deal. And now it's coming out, actually was hurt.
Well, he could have been hurt. I mean,
I don't know. That's tough.
I'm sure Derrick Henry's been able to do jumping jacks for 4 weeks now. It's just jumping jacks.
I know, but it just looks bad when how he left.
Well, yeah, but that's Antonio Brown. He's nuts.
That's true.
He loves attention. So that could have been part of it. He wanted attention, and both things can be true, Yeah. I'm not, I don't know what's been happening the last few years with Antonio Brown, but you watch him on the football field and he's still got it. I just think,
he's not up here.
I don't know. I don't ever want to point at it, but he's taking a lot of hits in his life. You never know if some of that stuff's catching up with him either.
It may, and it may later on down the road, especially.
the new studies are showing with CTE.
I was thinking he wasn't going to play again, but with all the things saying that he was hurt, someone else make him a chance. Hell, I'd let the Titans give him a chance.
I'd probably give him a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, well, why not? What we got to lose?
I mean, he's still running crisp routes. I mean, he's still a good football player, regardless. He's a really good football player. I don't know who let Tom Brady have him as his fourth option, being that good, but Jesus.
But other than that, man, you got anything else to say before we end it up?
I'm excited for Sunday. I think a lot of weird things are going to happen. Hopefully not with the Titans. Hopefully we just come out, beat the crap out of the Texans, and move on.
That game's 10.5. I didn't talk about it.
I'd take us 10.
10.5.
No, 10.
10.
I just think especially once. I mean, it depends on Henry, but I still think even Foreman's been a pretty darn good replacement. As much as he could be, he fumbles the ball way too much, but I think he's an okay replacement. I just think our defense, the confidence that they have on that side of the ball, and how healthy we are, I think we can beat any team I think we can beat any team, but I think we can beat any bad team now by 10 plus points. I'm not as worried as I was last year or even the beginning of this year when our defense was playing really bad. I do think our defense is Super Bowl caliber, and it starts with up front. Bud Dupree was a heck of a get.
I agree. So I like Zach Cunningham. I think that was a huge get.
I mean, it was a steal. It was just a flat out steal to get Zach Cunningham.
Absolutely.
I saw a stat and it was like his grade, and he just wanted out of the Texans. And I think people were scared. It was like his grades from like week 3 to week 8 or week 3 to week 12, like never got above 60. And then he got to the Titans and his grades immediately went 95, 95, 90.
I'll tell you, he's a lot better than Rashad Evans. I'd take him over Rashawn.
Well, yeah, because Zach Evans is a heck of a football player. Rashawn is just a batter ram, You want him at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Knowing there's a run play or a short yardage situation, he knows it's a run play. He doesn't have to think. So those are the plays that he's pretty darn good at. But other than that,
we got a good linebacker room. I'm just kind of now thinking about it. Bud, Zach, is it David Long Jr.?
Yeah, David Long's amazing.
David Long Jr. And Rashad Evans. I mean, dude, that's a solid group.
And you didn't even name one that's better than Rashawn that just now is back and healthy. Jayon Brown is back.
Jayon, dude, I forgot about him. Oh my God.
He's more of he's not like Rashawn and Jayon complement each other really well because Rashawn comes in on rundowns and Jayon's the more he's really good in pass coverage and blitzing and stuff like that. But
I mean, could you imagine all of us healthy with Christian Fulton back?
He is back.
Who's the guy Caleb Farley.
Dude, I don't know, man. I want him to develop into something good, but Christian and Jackrabbit's been really good the last few weeks.
Yeah. But just having that depth, man,
depth is huge.
And we look really good. I mean, this is my opinion, but I think Titans are going to make the Super Bowl. And the thing is are we going to be able to beat Aaron Rodgers? That's the big question this year. Who's going to beat Aaron Rodgers? Could it be us? I hope so. I have to get that tattoo of the Titans if we win the Super Bowl, but I'll do it.
I mean, it'd be tough, but I think we have enough on the defensive side of the ball to do it. But I'm still on Chiefs versus Packers. I mean, it's hard to beat Mahomes or Rodgers, dude. They're the two best quarterbacks in the league, or two of the best quarterbacks in the league, regardless of where you think, Tom and Matt Stafford and people like that land. I believe they're the top two in the league. It's just hard, and I think they just find ways to win. But this year I'm way more confident because of our defense,
Yeah.
In the past, it's been, we score 35 points a game, but our defense lets up 35 points a game. So we never know what we're going to get. This year, it's like, okay, we know we're probably going to hold a bad team to 14 or less, a good team to probably at least 20 or less,
Yeah.
So
it's going to be
man. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a fun weekend.
But all right, guys.
National Championship's Monday.
National Championship Monday.
Why is it always put it on a Saturday? Why is it always on a Monday?
Well, because the NFL has the rights or something for this Saturday. after college football for the national
Put
championship.
it on Friday. Hell, I don't care. Put it on a day where I don't have to, because I'm not going to be able to watch. I'm not going to watch all of it. I'm in Eastern time. This shit will come on at like 9.
It's at 7 here, so it'll be 8 for you.
No, I'll be asleep by 10:30, huh?
Realistically, you know, they're going to have the commercials.
Oh yeah,
before the game, everything. So the game's really going to start.
10:30 might just be halftime, and if it's that, I'm definitely hanging up.
Hell, the Balls game was what, 4 hours and 45 minutes.
It was brutal how long the game was.
It was too long. Too many commercials. Clock stopping too much. I like the NFL, but
yeah, NFL is get them out. Let's go.
Get them out 10 minutes.
Halftime. NFL halftimes are the best.
It's 13 minutes because they give a commercial and then it's 10 to the 10 minutes, but 13 minutes, man. I love it. And now let's go. Let's ride.
All righty. No, good show. It's been a while, but we're back.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week. See y'all then.
Peace.